dugcast. Hey everybody, it's me, Doug. It is a beautiful Sunday morning, and what are you doing inside watching live streams going on YouTube? I've already been outside. I've been out walking the dog. So there. I didn't have a stream yesterday. Sorry about that. I've been having some work done on the house, and the guy was here yesterday tearing up the floor, so I really didn't want to be on here and have to run back and forth and have all that beating and banging here on the YouTube show. And we've got Dave in the chat. What's up, Dave? Dave is one of my favorite peoples on the planet because he likes Star Trek. He has good taste in indie comics. So Dave is a really cool guy. I'm really glad to get to know him and everything. He's a great dude. He's the dude who came up with the name of the Needle Mover Society. And if you haven't followed the Needle Mover Society on here on YouTube, if you haven't subscribed to it, go subscribe. I stream a lot with those guys. We talk about comics. If you want to learn about indie comics, Skinny's always having indie guys on to promote their books. So, go over there and keep an eye out for the Needle Movers. But today I got a couple of things I saw here in the news I figured we would talk about. So we've got, I don't know how to say this guy's name. Like I said, I'm from the South. We're really bad at pronouncing weird names. Taika Waititi reveals who is the real star of Thor: Love and Thunder. I bet it's not the white guy who plays the Thor. And look at these stupid ads. What a terrible page. This is comicbook.com. Get rid of your ads, comicbook.com. It makes me mad. But anyways, yeah, we're on comicbook.com. So let's read a little bit of this news here as soon as this ad goes away. Go away, ad. Thor: Love and Thunder is coming in 2021, and the announcement of the small details available about the film absolutely blew minds at the Comic-Con this year. I'm sure it did. Now, what's his name has revealed to MTV News which of the Thors, multiple Thors, will be the main attraction of the next movie. Will it be Chris Hemsworth's Thor or the mighty Thor, who will be played by Natalie Portman? For the director, this one is a no-brainer. And Waititi told the outlet in an interview, it's Chris Hemsworth. It's a Thor film. He is Thor. It's a Thor film. She's in it. That seems pretty cut and dry as far as quotes go. Well, I mean, that kind of makes sense. The dude has done, he did the last Thor movie, I believe, and I enjoyed it. It was a little goofy, but I thought it was a fine movie. I enjoyed it. So, that's cool. And apparently he's also involved in James Gunn's Suicide Squad. So we'll have to see what comes of the Thor movie. I'll probably watch it. I'm not that excited about these new Marvel movies. They don't really do a lot for me. They're just kind of poopy. Oh, and we got Doofy Productions here in the chat. I was supposed to send him a message so he could come on here and maybe show us some stuff. But I was out walking the dog, and it totally slipped my mind. So let me see if I can get him in here for a second. And we'll have him do some drawings and such. And if you don't know, Jameson McCran there is going to be the artist on the next Lone Wolf book. He has a story in Legends of the Lone Wolf. And he also did the art for Joey Tremblay's story in Legends of the Lone Wolf, which just looking at the two, you wouldn't realize it was the same guy. He's very flexible there in his style. He can make it look different. But you definitely need to check him out. I'm really excited to be working with him. and I really think that this next issue is going to be really killer. And if you didn't read the first issue, then you really need to, because I've heard it's pretty good. I think it's good, but I'm a little biased, But I've heard it's pretty good. So, Doofy, I sent you an invite. So if you want to jump on StreamYard, you're more than welcome to. Now let's look at another thing I come across today and see what y'all think about this. This is from Polygon, and this is the best comics of 2019 so far. And here we have Mr. Miracle, writing by Tom King, art and colors by Mitch Gerads, letters Clayton Cowles. I don't know about you guys, but this art is very indie looking. I mean, like, if this art was in my book, that's awesome. I would enjoy it. But this doesn't look like something that would come from Marvel or DC, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. Take it or leave it. I haven't read this, but I know that I do not like Tom King's writing on Batman. The dude doesn't know how to write Batman. And so it doesn't really make me want to look into his Mr. Miracle. But that's just me. And then here we've got The New World, which I've not heard of this. But the art looks very cartoonish, like maybe a little manga influenced a little. But it's really nice artwork, and the colors are really good. So that's cool. And then we've got High Crimes, which let me go back up here. I didn't read by who this was by. The New World by Alice Scott, art by Trad Moore, colors Heather Moore, letters Clayton Cowles. So we got the dude lettered Mr. Miracle and this. But yeah, it looks pretty cool. Then we've got High Crimes by Christopher Sebula and art by Ibrahim Mustafa. And it looks serious. Still kind of got that kind of indie vibe to me, but whatever. Maybe these are indie books. I don't know. Then we've got Crowded, which here is Christopher Sebula again. Pencils, Rose Stein, inks, Ted Brandt, colors, Fiona Farrell, letters, Cardinal Ray. He looks kind of cartoony. I'm not saying whether it's bad or good or anything. Then we've got Laura Dean Keeps Breaking Up With Me, writing Mariko Tamaka, art Rosemary Valero O'Connell. And I'm sorry for butchering these names. I'm not good at pronouncing names. We've got Cosmic Ghost Rider, Baby Thanos Must Die, with writing by Donnie Cates and art by Dylan Burnett, or Burnett, however you want to say it. I do not like the art here. I do like that Vashta Stampede is over here. That's really cool. But this art looks like indie tier. This doesn't look like something Marvel should be doing. And I do like Donnie Cates a lot. But I would think that Venom would be here because his Venom is really cool. It's a really good read if you enjoy that. We've got Coda by Simon Spurrier and art by Matthias Bergara. And it looks really cool. Got good colors and really cool art. Then down here we have Die, written by Kieran Gillian and art by Stephanie Hans. And that's some cool art. I like that. It looks like a painting. Very cool. And that's it there on the list. I'm a little disappointed that Venom's not there. These books could be terrible. I don't know. I see that we've got Jameson here, and I need to add him to the stream. What's up, buddy?
Hey, Doug. How's it going?
It's going. I'm kind of oblivious to what goes on in StreamYard, so I don't know how long you've been there. Well, I've been ranting about these comic books looking terrible.
It's fine. I was just trying to get myself situated. I'm not all set up with a camera, so I had to tilt the laptop screen towards what I'm working on. So it gave me plenty of time to get situated here.
Well, so while you're still situating, I will tell people Legends of the Lone Wolf, and I'll go ahead and share the screen with you. Legends of the Lone Wolf is still on Indiegogo. We are at $6,450 with 149 backers. So we are $50 away from the next stretch goal, which is Lone Wolf magnets. So you throw at somebody, and that'll put us at 150 backers. Let's say if we hit 150 backers, hit that $6,500, I'll do some kind of giveaway. I'll send somebody a bunch of comics or something. If you're watching this and you want a box full of stuff, go click on it, and I'll send you a box full of just random comic books and maybe some extra Lone Wolf stuff. And we're also still up on Kickstarter. The Kickstarter has an alternate cover by Brad Ashworth. We have 8 backers, and we're at $232 of our $500 goal.
That's a generous 8 backers there.
Yeah, it seems like we're more popular on the Indiegogos, but that's okay. We're just trying to stretch out, maybe get some more people on both sides of the aisle there. But once we hit the $500 goal here, everybody on the Kickstarter will get a copy of the Banjo Man Ash Can, and I will throw in a poster. Maybe something special, I don't know, or maybe just some cool posters from the other campaign. So if you haven't backed yet, go and check those out. You can read issue 1. There's links there in the description where you can read issue 1. Like I said, I've heard it's pretty good. I think it's awesome, but I wrote it, so that's not really fair. I can't wait for people to see some of the stuff you've been sending me, man, like these character designs and stuff.
I
think this next book's going to take it up a notch.
Do you want me to show the sketches? I don't know how clear they'll come out.
If you want to, I mean, you can.
I think this is how it will show up. I have to put it sideways. Sweet. This is Civil War era Lone Wolf, because we're going to have some flashbacks.
Let me make it where it's you.
Okay.
Well, what I did is I removed you from... There we go. See if you can move it a little bit closer to the camera there.
Maybe that'll help if I turn off the light. So I pencil so light, I don't know if it shows up.
You can kind of see it. Yeah, but this is Civil War era Wolf. So he's a little different. He's all spec'd out for some war in the Civil War era.
Yeah, he's got some more traditional kind of garb on. And then since in issue 1 he got robbed by Mad Dog, he had to get some new clothes. And that's what this is.
Yeah, so we have like a slightly different design there. So to the one person that's watching, who's probably Dave, you get some behind the scenes Lone Wolf there.
And lastly, we have a character from Lone Wolf's past. He's a preacher, and it's going to go into the origins of the gun that he wields.
So yeah, you get to see like a character who's not even been talked about yet. He's like he's like a big part of Lone Wolf's life that nobody even knows about yet. And I think he's awesome. He's kind of a Clint Eastwood character. So if you like Clint Eastwood, you're going to dig this dude.
Preacher.
Dave in the chat here says Lone Wolf in the U.S. Civil War sounds exciting. Yeah, it's I like the little story we got going on there. I think there's going to be some tie-ins with that in the upcoming, not in this issue of Legends of Lone Wolf, but the ones coming down the line. I've got a couple people still writing stories for that stuff, so you're going to see all kind of things. And I'm probably going to have to figure out the whole Lone Wolf timeline, or just declare that only my stuff is canon. There's so much stuff going on now. But it doesn't really matter. I always liked how back in the day they had all the Ninja Turtles books when it was still Mirage Studios.
Mm.
And people would just write random stories, and it didn't matter if they were canon or not. It just had Ninja Turtles in them.
Yeah.
You know, it might be like an alternate take of the Ninja Turtles or something. So, you know, it doesn't really matter if it's canon. All my Lone Wolf stories are the only ones that matter anyways. I'm being just a little facetious right there.
You're getting a little robot-y on my end.
You actually are roboting on my end as well.
Oh, that's not good.
Streamlabs has been doing that to me, and it makes me mad. So we're probably roboting out there in the universe as well.
Autobots, roll out.
Roll out! Stop Megatron's evil plan to ruin my streams.
Yes. He doesn't like Lone Wolf. Megatron is a racist.
He is a racist. Well, he's obviously white. So he's racist. He hates Autobots of color. People of color. He hates AOC's Autobots of color. Oh man. So Dave says we're roboting a little bit, but not too bad. So that's good. Maybe
All
it'll
right.
straighten up here in a few minutes. I don't know why it does that. It makes me mad. But yeah, what I like on the StreamYard though is I can make these banners. It says Legends of the Lone Wolf. So go back Legends of the Lone Wolf if you haven't yet, because it's awesome. It's up to 110 pages. It's like the biggest indie collaboration out there right now. Got tons of indie writers and artists on it. Even some guys that are kind of popular, but they won't promote the book because they're too cool. You know, not throwing at it anybody, but I'm totally throwing at it. If you feel guilty, then I'm throwing it at you. I'm just a huge jerk today. So I noticed you're doing traditional here, and I know you were getting into some digital stuff a while back. Are you still doing like some digital stuff too?
Yeah, a little bit. I still just I like the feel of this, so I've been keeping at it. I think as far as digital goes, I'll probably just be using it for color and maybe some other kinds of projects.
Well, I've seen like Nate from Ashcan. He was taking his old artwork and touching it up with the digital stuff, like remastering it. I thought that was pretty cool.
It would depend on the piece for me to do that, because sometimes when I'm done with something, I'm done with it.
Yeah. Well, I don't draw because I'm terrible at drawing. The last thing I drew, I was on stream with Brad Ashworth and Manny and some other guys, and I drew this skunk man. I don't know if you can see it. When I was a kid, I used to draw like Ninja Turtles and stuff all the time. So I was all the time drawing anthropomorphic creatures.
Right.
I'm surprised that word came out of my mouth.
Doing this so I don't smudge, but it feels weird.
Yeah, for anybody who may watch this later, we're awesome. But usually I keep my streams down to like 10, 15 minutes or whatever. But I didn't stream yesterday because I was having some work done at the house. But I haven't done a longer stream in a while either. I'm trying to grow my YouTube channel so that we can get more people to buy my comic books.
Right.
And I think with issue 2, something I've been talking about, I want to move away from depending on crowdfunding. I don't care to still use like Indiegogo and stuff like to order the book and all that mess. But I'd like me and you can work together and get the book done. Then we can sell it and we can split whatever we make. And that way I don't have to try to raise money to pay you to get the book done.
Mm.
And that way the books come out in a decent amount of time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That way it's more like real comic books that they come out like, maybe we can do one every couple months instead of one a year.
Yeah, that would definitely be a better situation.
Yeah, it's been almost a year since I started Lone Wolf. I think I started the campaign in October. And so Legends Lone Wolf was probably going to be put together and shipped in October. So that would be a year. And that kind of stinks. I'd like to get more than that done in a year. And I know that we're not going to make a fortune, but it'd be nice to get, some books out there and start building the fan base and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Which, we have a tiny little fan base. It's better than no fan base, but we have one.
It's pretty cool that we've got a little bit of one already.
Yeah, I don't think it's because I play the banjo. Everybody likes to keep bringing that up all the time. I think the only time I've played banjo in the last year is when I'm on a stream. I don't ever pick up the banjo and go, I'm going to play the banjo for enjoyment. It's just not my favorite instrument.
It's just for the torture of everyone else.
Yeah, exactly. I like it, but it's not something where I'm set in my ways playing guitar, and it's not guitar, and so I can only convince my hands to do so much that's that much different. Mm. So I don't think I'll ever get that great at banjo. I think where I'm at on banjo, that's the best I'll ever be on it. But like with guitar, I feel like I'm getting better all the time. So I'd rather just put my time in the guitar and everybody stop calling me Banjo Doug and maybe call me something different. We're going to have to get Joey on the stream with us.
Yeah, that would be fun.
I haven't talked to him much here lately. Seems like you just get busy with life stuff and you don't really have time to talk to people that you enjoy talking to.
Mm.
I need to just quit my job and be a hobo and just do comic books and play on the internet full time. Maybe I'll start a Patreon and see if I can convince people just to pay me to be on YouTube. Or just pay me to be a bum in general.
that would certainly be the life.
Yeah, I think being a bum would be awesome. So what do you ink with?
Just a pen. This was just one of those Sharpie pens.
Oh.
It's got a really fine tip on the end of it, kind of like a micron.
Cool.
Much more cost effective than microns, though. I just kind of have a Mod Podge of stuff that I ink with.
Kind of roboted out on me there. I didn't know what you said.
Oh, sorry. I have a bit of a hodgepodge that I ink with.
Oh. Just a bunch of random stuff.
Mm-hmm. Whatever brushes or markers or pens are sitting around, I put to use.
Cool. So how long do you think it takes you to do like a page?
Do a page? It depends, because I don't really, I don't time myself in, and the level of detail varies on what's actually going on in the book. Never across multiple days, unless, like if you were to tally up all the time in total, it would still be within a few hours.
See, I'm not patient enough. I'd be like,
Oop, you cut out entirely on me there.
I'm working now again.
Oh, there you are, I think.
Yeah, it's a stupid thing. Streamland hates us. I'm gonna go to whoever runs stream, or not Streamland, StreamYard. I need to at least blame the right people. I need to go beat them up. I was trying to use the OBS and do like really cool streams.
Uh-huh.
And then OBS on my computer just randomly like just starts cutting out. Like I have the whole setup and it runs fine out of nowhere. It'll start uploading my audio where the screen just disappears right in the middle of the stream. I just have no luck with things. They're wanting StreamYard's wanting people to like pay to upgrade and use all their stuff and everything.
That's how it is.
If it doesn't work any better than this, I'm not going to pay for anything.
Right.
So what are you working on right here?
I'm working on the cover, so I started with Lone Wolf's face here, and he's in the Civil War thing, so he's got a ponytail going on, so he's got his hair back.
That's all. And when the ink bar, like when you hold it up against the pencils, it totally looks like it's 3D. I can't wait to get this done. This makes me not want to do another anthology ever again. I just want to do these. Everybody else wants to write Lone Wolf stories. I feel like I'm just going to tell them to run their own campaigns and just pay me a percentage to use Lone Wolf.
That's not a bad idea. He's got enough demand going on.
Yeah.
Everyone's been doing it right away.
I don't mean it's rude towards anybody, but I don't really care if their books succeed as long as I can do. So if they made Lone Wolf books and paid me 10% of what they made nothing, then I wouldn't care. I really don't need to start practicing drawing and maybe do like a web comic or something. I used to draw this character that was an anthropomorphic monkey, which monkeys are kind of human anyway. It was more human. And he fought an evil goat and a chicken. And the chicken was based on my art teacher, who was a huge jerk. Yeah, the art teacher in high school was just like a chicken. That's turned into a cartoon chicken. I don't know if she ever got like we had to do a sketchbook drawing every day in class, and mine looked like a comic book cover every day, and it was the monkey fighting the chicken. And I don't know if she ever got that she was the chicken. I would make references to things that went on in class.
That's pretty funny.
Maybe she didn't get it. Maybe that's why she hated it.
It's very possible. You never know with stuff like that. She might have just not liked it on the level that it wasn't what she wanted to see from her students, and she didn't even pick up on the joke.
Yeah, maybe. The woman hated me. I had art. This was like my sixth time of having art in high school, and I was a senior. And I had the other art teacher who was really cool, and she like really encouraged you. Everything you done, she really encouraged you and tried to help you get better. And then they got a new art teacher, and so my year, I think in the last half of the year, I had a whole new art teacher, and everything that happened in that class, she blamed it on me. Somebody across the class could like drop something or spill something or make a noise, and she would yell at me.
That's ridiculous.
And when I was in high school, dude, I was the quiet guy. I just kind of sat there and was like quiet and kept to myself. And she was constantly all over me, like yelling at me, and it was weird. She didn't stop me. Here I am making a comic book, even though I ain't drawing it. I guess she didn't do the monkey character though, because I'm not doing a comic book about a monkey. But totally makes me feel like I want to do that as a webcomic.
I don't see one.
Webcomics don't have to be good. It helps if they are good. They don't have to be.
It's a pleasant surprise when they are.
Yeah. It's probably mind blowing when they are. Somebody's like, I'm going to read some free webcomics. I'm like, wow, this one's good. I know Mior does a webcomic on Tapas, and me and Crypto were trying to get him to print it. And it's like, because it's pretty good. And he doesn't know sell well. I think if he started promoting it and had the people promoting it, he probably could sell some. Because it's not like he has to pay anybody to do the art. The only thing he has to pay for would be printing it.
Right.
You do a webcomic too, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Stormy Carlos.
My friend and I do Stormy Carlos, yeah.
I checked it out once, but I couldn't read what it said.
Yeah, that's the problem with it. It's on hold until I can figure out how to do lettering because my handwriting sucks.
Well, I could show you how to do it, but now for some reason, when I try to run Clip Studio on my PC, it just shuts off. So I've got Skinny's going to help me finish up lettering on stuff. I guess I'm going to have to stop buying guitars and break down and buy a computer.
I guess.
I actually make some money. I can record music every day for the next year, and nobody would pay a dime for any of it. Oh, I feel like this digital age that we're in has kind of killed the arts because people think that it should be that all the stuff should be free. It's like, well, why should I pay for music when I can just stream it on YouTube or Spotify? Or should I pay for comic books when I can just read them online?
Right.
I feel like it's really, devalued the whole artistic scene. I think what I need to do is destroy Amazon and Google and make everybody go back to the Stone Age, and then maybe they'll want to read comic books anymore. Now, I said that it's on the internet, and I'll be tried as a terrorist. Crazy bearded man threatens to destroy Google and Amazon. Even though that I probably
claims lizard people are ruining comics.
Chicken people, that's who it is.
Yeah.
Chicken people.
Anthropomorphic chicken people.
My friend, your friendly neighborhood ninja, he was working on a comic with his kid, and it was called Nightmare Chicken Feet. And it was the creepiest looking chicken creature, man, I've ever seen in my life. And it totally looked like something out of the Tick. He's kind of been on the internet for a while. He's had a bunch of family stuff, so I'd like to see him come back and do a crazy book about the chicken feet, man.
How crazy should I get with his hands here? I'm just trying to determine how beat up looking I should make them. I don't want to go as far as I did with the anthology story because he's not that old yet.
Yeah. I would just keep it very like a minimal. And at this point, I would think any damage he really had would heal back, so it doesn't. I mean, you can get a little into it, but like in your story where he said so far in the future, I could see him having scars and stuff like that, because he's old. I found the open.
What was that?
My phone has Mega Man music on it.
I thought all of a sudden all the robot garbly noises were trying to communicate with us.
I posted on Facebook this morning that I wanted Mexican food, so one of my friends messaged me and was like, "Hey, we're going to town, so come get Mexican food." So I might do that after a while. The only thing is I've become a weirdo and I take my dog everywhere I go, so if I can't take him somewhere, I usually don't go. I don't really know where he went. I'm going to send myself a message. Invite myself to StreamYard and go look for it. I actually called the StreamYard this time, so I did good. I don't want you to show it to anybody, but I can't wait until people see the artwork you did the other day.
Oh, the John Romito one?
Yeah. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, that was pretty fun.
I've seen some other people have done stuff like that. That's kind of what gave me the idea. But, I love all the old classic comics, and I think you can do like kind of an homage to it, and you kind of hint people that, hey, we did homage to this, and it makes them go back and maybe read some of those classic books. I don't know if you pay attention to Twitter, but I follow Rob Liefeld.
Oh, yeah.
And apparently he made a joke that somebody posted a picture of an old Todd McFarlane Spider-Man, and it had some pretty crappy feet on it, and he shared it. He said people make fun of my feet, and now Twitter is going insane about it. Trying to find a way to make this look cool. Look for my dog. See if I can find him. Oh, there he is.
Whatever you just did fixed the audio.
Did it?
Yeah.
It's probably because I'm using my phone instead of my laptop. I can hear this audio coming through my laptop, and I sound like a full blown, like one of those people that has the voice thing, you know, where they smoke too much.
Yeah.
It sounds terrible. Axel, tell everybody hi. He's like, no. Say hi. Say hi, buddy. Oh, I just heard my dog voice on there. I don't like it. Well, I guess I'll just use the audio from my phone. Since it works.
I guess that's the solution for now.
Yeah. We got Tim Tim in the chat here, and Tim is an awesome guy, and he's a writer. And I haven't talked to him in a while, but I'm glad to see him here on the channel. Yeah. I think Axel's mad at me because I'm sitting over here talking on the computer instead of paying him attention. If I go and use my PC, though, and put my headphones on, he comes and barks at me until I get off. So I can't really stream in there. I was trying to record some music the other day, and I got to the part, I did all the music, and I was going to do the vocals, and I'm in there trying to do vocals. And every 5 minutes, he'd run in there and bark right when I was doing vocals. So I finally got mad and started cutting the vocal parts up and taking parts where he wasn't barking and putting them in there. But there's still like sections where I can hear him barking because I knew he was in there barking.
It'll make for a unique recording.
Yeah. Somebody eventually will notice. They'll be like, is that a dog in the background? Like, yeah. Yeah, Tim says, yep, been a while. Great to see you doing well, Doug. Well, thanks, Tim. Glad to see you pop in here and hang out with us while old James here is inking a cover. Dude, I swear, like, it's so crazy to see pencils and then see them inked and how different they are. I know, I can't think of who it was. I've seen some artists, their pencils are like, there's nothing there. It's like they just did the forms, and whoever comes in inks over top actually makes it the character. Maybe that's what I'll do. I'll just start drawing stick people, and then
and then have other people finish it.
Be like, here, look at this pencil by Doug, and all it is stick people, but they don't have somebody ink over top of it. I'll be like, wow, Doug, you did such great pencils on that. I'm like, I know. I'm so good at the pencils. Oh, I wanted to mention, I'm still having the contest. Let's see. I'm trying to grow my channel. I'm gonna go solo here real quick. So I'm having a giveaway. I'm at 150 subscribers right now. But if you'll get on social media, whether it's Facebook or Twitter, and usually Twitter's the easiest because you can tag me on Twitter. And my Twitter handle is @DG310. But if you'll share my channel and tell people to go subscribe, then I'll pick one of the people who's been sharing it, and I'll give them these 2 copies of Wolverton 1 and 2, Wolverton Thief of Impossible Objects. So you can win some free comics for sharing my channel. And this guy's an indie guy, so I want to share the love and maybe get you hooked on his comics. So yeah, go and go share the channel and win some free stuff. You can ask people. I gave away some comics on the launch day of Legends of Lone Wolf.
I remember that.
Yeah, I sent all those out except to Rozzy because Rozzy never would send me his address. I guess he didn't want me to have to pay $30 to ship like 2 50-cent comics all the way to Australia. Which I've kind of been thinking about, starting a Patreon anyways and trying to raise money to do comic books. But I thought about doing like a comic giveaway, like everybody who donated like $2 a month or something like that, they'd get put in a drawing every month, and then they could win like, a comics grab bag that had like 10, 15 comics in it. I don't know if that would do good or not. I've been trying to brainstorm ideas because I'm not an artist, so it's not like I can create things to send to people unless they want drawings of anthropomorphic skunks.
Right. You never know. That may just be enough.
It might be. Everybody might be like, well, just send us that copy of that anthropomorphic skunk, and I'll donate $50 a month. And I'll be like, it's a deal. Then I can be a bum. Live off $50 for about 3 days. Dude, that is looking so cool.
Thanks.
We might have to go back and do like a remastered version of issue 1 where you like, I don't mean this in any disrespect to Jeff, because I love Jeff's art, but since he only did 1 issue and now you're going to like do them going forward, I think it'd be cool to go back and do like a remastered issue 1, like where with your art that matched it. But I don't want to disrespect Jeff anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't think I would be comfortable with doing that.
Yeah, I kind of don't blame you. Because I'm, like I said, I wouldn't mean it in any disrespect, but I don't know how to do it and not be disrespectful.
I'm kind of just thinking of it as like like in the original Batman comics, it was Bob Kane for the first few of them, and then he got a bunch of ghost artists that did it under his name, and it started looking a lot better.
I'll just put my name on this.
Yeah. So
wow, dude, you got really good.
So I was thinking of it like, in the old days, you never really knew who was drawing it. You would just know that it was the same characters after a while.
Yeah. Well, like I remember back in the day when the Web of Spider-Man came out, and when it started, it was Todd McFarlane, and he did it wasn't Web of Spider-Man, it was just Spider-Man, and he did like 10 issues. Then I think what's his name? I don't know why I can't remember. Eric Larson came on and did a bunch, and then I think Rob Liefeld did a few, and then at one point it was just random artists. Like the art wasn't that great at all, and it might be one guy that you never heard of for an issue, and then like the next issue would be somebody completely different. And you could tell that's when Marvel hit a slump. And I know a lot of people really like Todd McFarlane's Spider-Man, but I would almost put up Eric Larson's as one of the greatest. I really like his Spider-Man. I just don't like him as a person because he's insane.
Yeah.
Oh, and he ruined Savage Dragon, man. Have you seen any of that crap?
Yeah, I saw some of it circulating on Twitter. It looks like it's just like a bunch of weird porn now.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it is. Like, dude, not too long ago on Comixology, they reprinted, like they had the omnibus, but it was just the pencils and the inks. It wasn't the colors.
Hmm.
And so you could see the art. Man, it was great. I read like, I don't know, tons and tons of Savage Dragon, and it was so good. And I know that Eric Larson wasn't the greatest writer, but there was just something about it. It was so good. And then, like, people was like, "Oh, Savage Dragon is terrible now." And I checked out a newer issue on Comixology. It was one of their free comic book day ones, and it's where it's his son is the Savage Dragon now, not him.
Mm.
And I was like, "Oh, that's okay." And I read the issue, and I was like, "This isn't that bad. I don't understand why everybody's so upset." Then somebody made the Twitter post and had the pretty much the porn on there, and I was like, "Oh,
now it makes sense."
yeah." He completely ruined it. Yeah, Dave said, well, look, we got Sam joined us in the chat. What's up, buddy? And Tim said, I would take a random artist over Eric Larson now that I know of his issues. I would too now. I mean, it's nice to look back on his old stuff and see, and imagine him as a decent human being and not some kind of depraved weirdo. And Dave says, Doug, you had an issue with a spider, man. And I totally did. Last night, a huge spider crawled out from under the table.
Yeah, you sent me a picture of that.
Yeah, dude, I freaked out. I was going to lay down and take a nap before work, and I couldn't. I laid down in my bed and I kept hearing noises, and I felt like bugs were crawling on me.
Oh, jeez.
So, yeah, I was afraid that I was going to wake up and there's going to be a giant spider on me. I don't know why it freaked me out. It's just a spider. And I have a gun. I have 2 or 3 guns. I could have shot it and killed it.
Explain that one to the insurance company.
Like, yeah, I need you. I got a bullet hole right here. I was like, what happened? A spider? You totally cover that, right? Yeah. Tim says, I wanted to read Savage Dragon. Now I won't. Well, after I saw the porn book, it completely ruined all that old Savage Dragon for me because it's something I almost would have collected because I liked it so much. And it just completely ruined it. And I read some of the early Spawn stuff, and it was all right. I haven't read any modern Spawn. I don't know, if it's any good. Does Todd McFarlane have anything to do with Spawn?
He still hops on and inks or something every once in a while, I think.
Yeah, I knew he did like a cover for 301 or something, and I just didn't know how much of a part he was in that.
I read one not too long ago, but I couldn't, it was too deep into the lore, so I was kind of at a disadvantage hopping on so late.
Yeah, see, that's my thing too. I don't want to go to the comic shop and pick up some new Spawn because I'll probably be completely lost. Yeah, Tim says, Spawn, I feel, is kind of dated, very 90s in both good and bad ways. Yeah, I kind of feel the same. I like looking back on some of those. That's the thing, though, about Savage Dragon. When I read that didn't feel 90s to me. I mean, I really liked it, and it didn't seem like dated and bad and cheesy or nothing like some stuff. But when I read Spawn, it totally felt 90s. Like I was like, yeah, this is from the 90s, obviously. I think Savage Dragon was just so weird and had all this weird crap going on, is why it didn't feel like it was 90s. But also, Savage Dragon had a crossover with the Ninja Turtles. So I thought that was awesome. And something I learned not too long ago, in the late 90s, Image actually had the Ninja Turtles. And Eric Larson worked on some Ninja Turtle books while Image had it. kind of want to get those, even though, like I said, Eric Larson's a depraved weirdo. I've been reading a lot of the Archie Ninja Turtles books. They're so close to being like great and brilliant, but they're not. Like when they first started off, it was just copying the cartoon. Then it got to a point where they had their own original stories, but they was really weird. Then it just went into like everything they done revolved around the ecosystem and how evil man was and how they were destroying the whole earth and all this crap. Then it goes back to being weird and sci-fi. And like I said, it's so close to being really good, but there's just something missing. And I honestly felt like it was they were very constrained on their stories. Like they would do a story arc and it'd be 3 issues. And so that would be 60 pages, because of a 20-something page book.
Right.
But it was like that wasn't enough to tell that story, I feel. I feel like they could have done more, but it felt like that they weren't allowed to elaborate on it.
Did you read the Archie versus Predator?
No, I never did. I wanted to, but I never got to.
It's so funny. It's so fucked, but it's really funny.
I also heard that the Archie Meets the Punisher is really good. Like, it's really goofy. Tim says, I like Witchblade out of all the Image imprint hits. I never did read Witchblade. I don't know. I felt wrong about getting comic books that had lots of half-naked ladies on it.
Yeah, that's Mike Turner.
I think my mom would have got mad and thrown them in the trash. So I just, I never did get stuff like that.
It pisses me off that they have his like residual artwork, like whatever sketches that he never published and all that, and they keep passing those off as variant covers and stuff.
Yeah,
like you can't let the guy be dead.
Yeah, that's lame. Dave says he has Archie Meets Punisher. How is it, Dave? Is it funny? Is it cool?
It sounds pretty funny.
Tim also says Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn meets Betty and Veronica is really weird. I would say it is. I still don't know how they got that CW show from Archie. What is it called?
Riverdale?
Yeah. Like, the only Archie thing is that it's the characters, but it's not Archie at all. It's pretty much a soap opera. Dave says, I remember it being pretty dumb. So Archie Meets Punisher is pretty dumb, says Dave. So I guess I won't read that. I used to have Batman versus the Predator, and I don't know what happened to it.
That one's a great one.
Yeah, I've been looking for it. I think I'm going to rebuy those because that Dark Horse stuff back in the day was really cool. I have the RoboCop versus Terminator miniseries with a couple of different variants. And the only variant on that is that it's different colors. It's not like different artwork or anything. We got Cassidy Blonde here in the chat. He says Riverdale. And Tim says Riverdale's just sexy people doing sexy things. CW equals crappy writing. Yeah, I can see that. When I used to watch The Arrow, like the first season of The Arrow was awesome. And then about half of the second season was awesome. And then the show was just a giant turd after that.
I was disappointed with Gotham.
Yeah, Gotham, I would watch it on and off, but I don't know why, because I never thought it was particularly good. And if Gotham worked that way, then no wonder Batman beat up all the villains because they were all old by the time he was old enough to fight them.
Exactly.
So, Cassidy Blonde says Riverdale turned into dark and gritty with the one guy, Jughead, who ate burgers.
Yeah, that's what I think of when I think of Archie. I think of dark and gritty.
Yeah, the only show I really like that's on CW, and the last few years it's kind of been really hit or miss for me, but I always liked Supernatural. If you can't tell, because Lone Wolf obviously is inspired by Supernatural. Because he shoots monsters with guns.
I never gave it a chance. I was like, it's too trendy. It must not be good.
Yeah, it's weird. Sometimes it's like really, really awesome, and sometimes it's not. But it's one of those shows where they did have a lot of action, and it was surprisingly violent to be a random CW show. Because sometimes there was some violence, and I was like, how did they get away with showing this on TV? Oh, and the Supernatural Scooby-Doo crossover is probably the best thing I've ever seen in my life. If you haven't seen that, you need to see it because it's hilarious.
I'll have to look that up. I didn't know there was such thing.
Yeah, they did it last season, I think. And this season that's on is going to be their last season. They've been on for like, I think 16, 17 seasons now. Pretty crazy to have a show that successful.
Yeah.
Man, that cover is looking so awesome, dude.
Thanks, man.
Cassidy Blonde says, oh, yeah, Supernatural is good. Yeah, it is good. I told you. It's good. I like it because they have guns and they shoot creatures.
What else do you need from a show?
Exactly.
Why overcomplicate things?
Exactly. And I used to watch The Flash on CW because it was a comic book show, and it is terrible. Like it seemed like the first couple seasons, they had a huge budget, and then all of a sudden they had no budget. So they replaced that with one 5-minute fight scene every episode, and the rest of it was a rehash of the same drama from last week. Castiel Blonde, still talking about Supernatural, says Castiel is my favorite character, but they made him a comic relief. I wish they would have just killed Castiel off and he never came back because I hate him. I feel like he was a cool character at one point, but he's just been goofy and stupid. And really, I wish they'd have stopped messing around with the angels in the show and just got back to hunting monsters. Got tired of seeing angels and demons all the time. That's why on Lone Wolf we don't touch on angels and demons. We just touch on creatures and vampires and werewolves. And it takes a Dracula to make a Dracula. You ever watch Squidbillies?
No.
Oh, dude, it might be the stupidest show that's ever existed. But there's an episode, I can't remember why, but there's some kind of vampire squid, and the main squid guy's like, it takes a Dracula to make a Dracula. And that I've always remembered that. Tim asked me if I know the tabletop RPG. Let's see, White Wolf. I've never heard of it, Tim. I've never been much of a tabletop RPG guy.
I know a lot of people that play them. I've mostly just been a video game and comic book guy. And then when I became a teenager, I became a guy that played guitars all the time and kind of left a lot of this stuff behind for years and years and years. Then I got older and I started getting into guns and shooting stuff. And just in the past years got back into comic books.
And now you're making comic books about guns and shooting stuff.
Exactly. Cassidy Blonde says board games have gotten really hardcore now. Well, that's cool. Bunch of nerds playing your Dungeons and Dragons. Well, like I said, I don't know nothing about none of that stuff. I have a friend who plays Dungeons and Dragons, and he's been wanting me to come and play. But I just don't have the time that I want to put into something like that because free time I want to do other stuff. Like put off writing issue 2 of Lone Wolf for a long time. Oh, what's crazy is like, like I had 3 or 4 outlines and I just was stuck. I was like, man, what do I want to do? And then like, it's like once I got the inspiration, I just cranked it out. The other day when I introduced that one character, man, it was just like, that was the inspiration I needed. It just poured out.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the changes that you make because they had a little bit of back and forth and banter, and it added a lot of flavor that was missing in the original interaction with the previous character.
Yeah, the previous character was a wiener, and he was a historical character, and like it's cool to tie in historical characters, but I don't think that's for me. Because I don't want to write a historical character because they were a real person and I don't really know how they were. All I have is what history says. And it just doesn't feel right. It'd almost be like somebody saying, well, here's this character I created. Put him in your story. I would feel the same way. It's just like, that's not my character. I don't know how to write him.
Right.
And really, like, there's a few people. I feel like you got the essence of Lone Wolf when in your story, and a few other people did. But there's a way that some people write Lone Wolf that I don't. That's not the way I would write him. Like, I don't see Wolf as the buddy type. I don't see him going around making friends, and I see him keeping to himself, kind of being a loner. He's got a job to do. His job is fighting monsters, and everything else is just kind of secondary. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like the real world stuff that goes on just barely affects him. Like during the Civil War, we see him in the Civil War killing zombies and whatnot, but he's not part of the Civil War. It's just going on. Dude, that is so cool.
I wish I could. I feel like I'm not contributing as much to the conversation because I keep like zoning out while I'm working.
Oh, that's all right.
I need more practice.
I can talk. I can talk plenty for both of us.
That's good.
Yeah, Tim says Lone Wolf is a lone wolf. Exactly.
Right.
His name is not Lone Wolf. He is a lone wolf.
His name is actually Benjamin.
His name is actually Bill Cosby.
Oh, no.
Everybody's going to be like, I'm not backing this book. It's about Bill Cosby.
When I get those zip ghouls, I'm going to zip up.
He just running through the woods going, put pops and kids in the
he takes out Mad Dog by slipping a Mickey in his drink.
And he's like, I would write Bill Cosby as having Tourette's, but he wouldn't yell like bad words. He would yell just kids or pudding pops randomly. He's like, hello, sir, pudding pops. Oh. Sam says, no time for the small stuff. There's monsters to slay. Exactly. Like, Wolf wouldn't be concerned with worldly matters. He might have to do things to make a little money here and there, or, you know, he might just help out people because he is a good guy. You know, he was taught to be a good guy. But as far as, like, getting involved in anything political or, like I said, a war or anything, I don't think he would pick sides. He's not there to be in any kind of human conflict. He's not a force to change the history of the world. He's just here to protect normal people from the things that go bump in the night. So he might, you know, have to get a job delivering pizzas on a bicycle, but while he was delivering pizzas, he would be searching for the evil things hiding in the neighborhood, like kids and pudding pops.
Yeah. He protects you from all the Bill Cosbys that sneak into your bedroom at night.
Bill Cosby's actually a creature. He feeds on kids and wombers. Casty Blonde says Black Dynamite had an episode of Bill Cosby. I only saw that show one time. They had Mr. Rogers on there, and it offended me, so I didn't watch it anymore.
It offended you that Mr. Rogers was on there?
It was a parody of Mr. Rogers. And like he was a bad guy and was like enslaving children or something. I was like, this is not even funny.
When you take on Mr. Rogers, you take on children of America.
Now, see, like, that's the difference between me and most people these days. I didn't like it, so I just turned the channel. I didn't go out and go, this show should be canceled because I didn't like this episode. Send me money to my GoFundMe so I can rally people against this injustice. Which, if somebody wants to start a GoFundMe for me and send me money so I can be a bum, I will gladly accept.
Same here.
So, yeah, you know, we need money to be bums. Get out there, make it happen.
You don't get what you don't ask for.
I think you can actually write off donations to my being a bum fund on your tax. Dave says, send many super chats. Since I don't have enough subscribers, maybe I should just put a PayPal link there and have people send me PayPals. We didn't get Mr. Rogers here. Oh, my Lord. I'm so sorry. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Won't you be mine? Won't you be mine? They actually kind of redid the show, and it's Daniel Tiger's neighborhood. It's a little animated tiger. Not near as cool as Mr. Rogers. Mr. Rogers was the best. When I was a kid, we didn't have cable. We had cable for a short amount of time because my small town started a cable company, and it was super cheap, and everybody had it. And they got sued by a big cable company and had to close down. So we mostly had an old school antenna that was mounted to the porch, and you had to go outside and turn the pole by hand to pick up channels. and like one of the few channels we got was PBS. So I grew up watching Mr. Rogers, Sesame Street. What else was there? Reading Rainbow. Reading Rainbow is one of my favorites. It's such a good show. And of course, you would see Bob Ross on there all the time painting pictures. Cassie Blonde says, well, that Mr. Rogers was pretty funny. Yeah, he's pretty funny if you're a terrible human being. What's wrong with you millennials? You millennial scum. Which technically I'm a millennial too, I guess. But I refuse to acknowledge that. I'm a millennial falcon.
This part of the drawing session is going to be dedicated.
Mr. Rogers stopped those execs from selling drugs to kids in that episode. Well, I might have to go back and watch it. It might have just been one of those weird times where I was half asleep and wasn't paying a lot of attention. Sometimes I'm at work and the TV's on and it's just on and I don't really pay any attention.
This part of the drawing is
We've got Marshall
dedicated
here
to
in the chat. Hello, friends. Howdy, Marshall. We're just sitting here chilling while James inks the cover for Lone Wolf issue 2.
I've come to a very exciting part of the inking process.
Yeah, Marshall had a stream this morning, but it was too early for me. I wasn't home from work yet. If you're not subscribed to his channel, go subscribe. I believe it's the same thing as his username there, Marsh Makes Comics. He has streams every day, and he has a lot of streams that can help you with comic book stuff. He's a really good artist, and he did the art for one of the stories I wrote in Legends of the Lone Wolf, and it is absolutely sick. It blows me away every time he sends me a colored page. It was awesome to see the line art. The line art was good, but then he sends me a colored page, and there's all these little details that I hadn't noticed. So I can't wait to see the completed story. And it's so cool. That tomahawk looks awesome.
Thanks, man. This next part of the drawing is going to be dedicated to all the ladies, because this is the part where I ink Lone Wolf's muscular, hairy chest.
Marshall says, nice work. Cover looks cool.
Thanks.
So you're doing good there, James.
Yeah, I think I actually...
Cassidy Blonde says, most of my artists do digital inks. It's faster, but you can't beat that quality that real inks are. Yeah, I agree, man. You can do some cool stuff with digital, but like this traditional stuff here, man, is absolutely killer. But some of the guys that do digital, like I believe Marshall does digital. His stuff is really cool. There's the way he can integrate his colors with the line art is something that I think is really cool. I think sometimes, excuse me, I think sometimes when you have the traditional artwork with computer colors over it, you kind of lose a little bit. But I feel like when it's digital art with the digital colors, it works better. That's just me. I could be a complete weirdo, so who knows? I can't wait to see this cover done. I think I'm going to go ahead and start writing issue 3 so that issue 3 will be done. Issue 4 and 5. Maybe just 4. Maybe I'll wrap it up with 4. It'll be a little mini series, and we'll see how it goes from there. Marshall has a question. He says, "Is James the artist for issue 2?" Yes, he is. He's the new Lone Wolf artist, and he has tons of talent. He's almost as good as art as I am. No, that's terrible. I shouldn't say that. He's a really good artist, and he's a really cool guy. And he has a story in Legends of Lone Wolf. He actually can write some cool stories too. So that might be something we see going here on out. But Marshall says, "Yes, I do digital, but started traditional. I love both." That's really cool. Cassidy says, "I got to write the other stories for the other comics I got to do." Yeah, Cassidy has a comic coming out called Point Man Comics, and it is just a really cool concept. It's like a bunch of different stories that he's written. One of my favorites that I've seen is Gorilla Galaxy. So go follow him on Twitter at Point Man Comics and keep an eye on him because I believe this dude is going to be one of the indie guys to follow because he's got an insane work ethic and he's got some really good ideas.
You can't go wrong with comics about gorillas.
Dave says, "Lone Wolf 4, The Voyage Home." Hello, computer. Yeah, Lone Wolf will just turn Scottish there and be like, "Hello, computer." Computer.
You have to use the mouse.
Well, he is Bill Cosby, though, so he'd go, "Put Bob's computer, kids." Cassie says he still doesn't know what he's doing. Doesn't matter, man. You're getting stuff out there. You're sharing some really cool artwork. You can do it. I know it's hard working with artists, though. It'd just be so much easier if we could just draw our own stuff. Tim says, "So Lone Wolf saves the whales?" And Cassie says, "Ghost whales?" That sounds like an interesting concept. That might be what we do. He travels back in time to capture a ghost whale to bring it into the future. Oh, dude. Mike Tyson Mysteries. That show is insane. Complete and utter insanity.
I've seen bits and pieces of that.
It's pretty really funny, though. Are you still there, James? I can't hear you talking.
Oh, yeah, I'm still here. I had been talking, but it's alright.
Am I me? Am I here? Am I back in black?
I don't know.
Can everybody hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you.
I'm talking into my phone because my computer's garbage. What's funny, okay, you hear both of us, but I can't hear James. Let me back out of this real quick on my phone, and I'll.
We are experiencing technical difficulties. Not panic, the Russians have not bombed the station.
There I am.
There you are.
I was there talking and talking, and I was probably talking over you. Couldn't hear anything. I was like, can anybody hear me? But Marshall says, it would be harder if you could draw it yourself. Trust me. I do both. Not as much fun working on a book alone. Yeah, I bet. It's cool when you have cool people to work with. Like James has been awesome because we talk to each other occasionally when I have something done. But like some people you work with, you just send them stuff and you don't really talk to them that much. Marshall also asked, where can I find more of your art, James?
I have a webcomic online called, it's at stormycarlos.thecomicseries.com. The lettering is really bad, so I haven't updated it in a while, so I am gonna have to try to figure out how to letter digitally. And other than that, I have an Instagram account. It's the unknown X99.
And I can vouch for his Instagram account. He posts some really awesome stuff on there. He's got some really cool Batman stuff on there. So go give him a follow.
What weirds me out is when I post on Instagram, I pick stuff and I'm like, oh, this one's going to do well. And then it doesn't. And then I'll put up like some crappy sketch and we'll get a bunch of hits. So I guess I don't understand the audience that I have.
Well, Instagram is so weird because sometimes I'll get on and it just shows me the same old crap like all day. And then I'll get on later and it'll show me the same old crap. And then I might get on and just go look for somebody. It's like, I just wonder if so-and-so's posted something in a while. And I'll see a bunch of stuff that Instagram never showed me in my feed.
Mm.
So I don't know if Instagram is trying to determine what they think that I like and just show me most of that stuff or what.
That's certainly possible.
Because I tell you one thing, there's one girl that I follow just because she's a friend of mine, and all she posts about is diamonds, like fake rocks with healing powers, she claims, and vaping. And I have no interest in either one of those, but I see every one of her dang posts. I wish she'd just go vape one of her magic rocks and stop posting about it.
Who has time for posting when you're supposed to be vaping? That's the cool
Exactly.
kids.
I'm gonna start vaping right now. Since the government's gonna tell me I can't vape, I'm gonna start. That's how I roll.
I don't see what the problem is. If it's like cigarettes. If people really want to spend the money and give themselves cancer, just go ahead and let them do it.
Well, see, that's my whole take on everything. I'm very libertarian when it comes to stuff like that. If you want to do heroin, do heroin. If that's your thing, if you want to die doing heroin, go for it. Now, I don't think you should like, give it to kids. You should get in trouble if you're giving it to kids, just like alcohol or anything like that.
Right.
But if you want to do it, do it. Shoot, let the government sell heroin. I don't care.
Yeah, because that's the actual problem with it, is more of the impact on the people that they're targeting when they're selling it to kids and stuff like that. That's the actual problem with it.
I think if you're over 18, whatever you want to do, you ought to be able to do it. This is America. As long as you're not hurting another individual with your choices, you should be able to do whatever you want to. Once you infringe on somebody else's rights, I can understand saying, no, you can't do that. But if you're not hurting anybody, if I want to stay in my house all day and snort crack rocks, then I should be allowed to do it. The government doesn't need to come into my house and tell me, hey, you can't snort those crack rocks. It's like, well, this is my house. This is another thing, too. I'm not going to run some people off here. I don't like the fact that I have to pay protection money to the government on property that I own. Like I live on this farmland here, and it's been passed down through my family. I still have to pay taxes on it. It's my land. I should be able to do whatever I want on it, and not have to pay protection money to the government. Because if I don't pay their money, they come and they take the land away, and they lock me up in jail. That sounds like the mob to me. But anyways, political rant over. Taxation is theft. And that's what Tim says there in the chat. Taxation is theft. I know Dave feels the same way. But yeah, let's not get into politics too heavy. Except, I do have some information leading to the Clintons' arrest. Oh, my head just explodes on camera.
Yeah. Excuse me, everyone. I have to go commit suicide.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. I suicided myself. Here's the note and everything. Oh, man. My turkey friend says politics are just the Greek word for two-face. Pretty much that describes it. Politics is nothing but, professional liars and whatnot. I said we weren't going to talk about politics anymore, but here I am when we'll talk about politics some more. I feel like that politicians are that we look at politicians the wrong way. We've turned them into some kind of superstar, some kind of rock star, when they pretty much they should be regarded the same as a janitor. You shouldn't disrespect a janitor, but a janitor is doing a job. Politicians are supposed to be there to do a job. They're not there to be rock stars and make all this money. They're supposed to be there to serve the will of the people.
Right.
So anyways, I like comic books. Let's talk about comic books. Before I go off on another tangent and get a visit from the Clintons. Oh, man.
Hey, Joe, what happened to Doug? You heard from him lately? Oh, he committed suicide, man. What? Yeah, he shot himself in the back of the head 3 times.
That takes some skill, I tell you.
It was an automatic. What is it that they say? Automatic assault weapon or something?
Yeah, fully automatic.
Fully semi-automatic.
Oh man. So I have like this little local con coming up. I went to it last year. They have it at the library in this town that's like an hour away. And they have a pretty good sized basement. It's not huge, but it's pretty good size. And I was the only dude there last year that actually had, well, there was two. There was another guy. We were the only 2 guys there that actually had a comic book project. Mine hadn't come out at the time, but I had the ash cans, and he actually had like a collection of all his stuff. But it's coming up again, I think November the 2nd. And I'm trying to get stuff ready because I'm gonna go to that. I'm gonna try to be all decked out. I'm gonna try to make a gravestone press, like sign, and maybe a thing to hang on the table. I'm gonna take a bunch of copies of issue 1. I'm gonna try to get some stuff from Ashcan because I want to represent them, especially since they're reprinting Lone Wolf issue 1 with Nate's variant.
Is Nate's variant the one that was on the poster that came out with the last Ashcan?
No. Nate's variant just has Wolf's face, and he's got like black paint around his eyes.
Yeah, I think that is the one. Let me grab the poster.
Oh, you mean with the last Ashcan stuff?
It's gonna have this as the cover.
Yeah. That's it. I love that. I think it's killer.
Yeah, it's really cool. And then it has their little advert on the back of it.
Yeah, I'm trying to adjust things where I have more money, and once I get to that point, I'm going to start trying to support Ashcan to where I can put a Gravestone Press ad in the books, and I want to be able to afford to have enough books to take with me when I go to cons that I can sell the books, sell Lone Wolf books, and kind of get the names of both of our stuff spread out here in this area. Dave says he got that poster at the beginning of the month. What do you think, Dave? Did you like that variant cover there? You'll be getting it because I know you're an Ashcan supporter. I've been wanting to, but like I said, I've been trying to make finances work the right way to support Ashcan. But I want to spend more than just the $10 a month because I want that ad. Dave says, yeah, man. He likes that variant cover. I think this cover here for issue 2 might be my favorite ever. It's going to be pretty wicked.
I'm curious to see what it'll look like colored, because I like the coloring issue 1.
Yeah, that kind of watercolor kind of look.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'll look good, man. You like because your line work is really thick and really good. It looks really cool. I just had an idea for like a poster or something.
What's that?
You remember have you ever seen the Evil Dead poster, the original Evil Dead poster, where the chick is busting out of the ground with one arm reaching up?
That sounds familiar. I'm not sure I recognize it off the top of my head.
I'll send it to you later. I don't know. Maybe it should be a cover for another book that we're doing, maybe an homage to that. But I'm thinking about seeing a character busting out of the ground with a gun in their hand, like a rifle or something, holding it up. The Lone Wolf logo being on there, like the Evil Dead logo was on the poster. Dave says, Ashcan Comics is greater than overpriced late IGGs. You are right, my friend. That's one reason why I'm wanting to get away from Indiegogos. I want to be able to get the book finished, then sell it, and not have to worry about, trying to rush and get it done in a certain time frame. Because sometimes life happens to people. I understand that. But Ashcan's got a good thing going, and I'd like to see it grow. Marshall asked, what is issue 2 about? It's about Lone Wolf. Well, issue 1, this is a direct continuation. It continues exactly where we left off. Maybe not the exact moment, but it's, it continues right after Lone Wolf issue 1.
Yeah, John Wick style. It picks up very shortly after.
Yeah. So pretty much you have Wolf, completely defeated, suffering from his defeat at the hands of Mad Dog. And we have some flashbacks that tell some more history of the Lone Wolf. And then we get to see him, track him down. So, this is probably going to be a 4 or 5 issue little arc there. It'll set up his origin pretty much. And from there, we'll see what happens. Hopefully, if James can put up with me and him can start cranking out comics and maybe make a little bit of money.
That's the idea.
I think what got Lone Wolf 1 funded and what helped a lot was we were the cheapest book at the time on Indiegogo. And so I'd like to keep the books cheap, which it just means you have to sell more books that way. But I think we can do it, especially with your killer artwork. I think people see this cover and they're going to be like, hey, that book looks awesome. And I'll be like, yeah, this book is pretty much done. And they'll be like, hey, I would like to purchase that book.
And then you say too bad, because
So send me your pudding pops.
that's what we really want.
Send me your Bill Cosby.
Your whole collection, all the tapes, all the records.
I actually have some Bill Cosby records. I think he was hilarious back in the day. Not getting too far into Bill Cosby, but I'm going to say I don't know that he did any of that stuff or not. So if he did, that's on him. But it's not going to diminish the fact to me that back in the day he was hilarious. And I will still laugh if Bill Cosby comes on and I hear Bill Cosby. I'm not going to go, oh, I can't listen to this. Now, that's just me. You can feel however you want to.
I can't blame you there. Funny is funny.
Yeah. And we can't destroy a part of history just because we don't like something that the person may have done or been a part of at the time. Same with Michael Jackson. Even though he was a weirdo.
Michael Jackson isn't a problem for me because I don't really listen to a lot of his music, so I'm indifferent to the entire thing.
Yeah, well, to me, I don't really listen to a lot of Michael Jackson, but he does have some classic songs that if I hear him come on, I'm going to listen to him, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm not going to go, oh, I can't listen to these. We should erase them from history. Dave just said eggs. Eggs are in chocolate cake. One of the funniest things Bill Cosby ever did, like one of his stand-up routines. He's talking about how he was supposed to make breakfast for his kids, and his kids wanted chocolate cake, and they had some leftover chocolate cake, and he feeds it to them, and then it's like, it's okay, eggs are in chocolate cake. You eat eggs for breakfast? And it's really, really funny. It makes me want to go watch some Bill Cosby when we get done doing this. This was pre-Jello Pudding Pops Bill Cosby, too. Pre-Cosby show where he got the sweater. I appreciate everybody that stopped by and hung out with us today. We've had a pretty cool little stream here.
Absolutely.
And y'all get to see the cover for issue 2 of Lone Wolf. And it's going to make you poop your pants.
But we're not legally responsible for that.
That's right. So don't come suing us when you got poopy underbritches. Just invest in some adult diapers.
Oh, on the Indiegogo campaign for the anthology,
yeah,
there was that one person who made that very generous, large donation.
Yeah.
So I put together this piece. I'm going to scan it in. We could probably use it as a poster or something, but I'm going to send them the original.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, put this together.
Oh, that is awesome. I'm sure he'll appreciate that. That is wicked, man.
Thanks. I did that while I was talking on the phone with Joe while he was finishing the coloring and the lettering on our story.
Cool. Oh, you did that poster too. That's Barry Goosey and Wolf.
Yeah.
Joe sent me the colored version of that. Man, that is awesome. The people that back the Indiegogo, man, they're going to get just a bunch of really cool stuff. The people that didn't aren't. They're not going to get nothing cool.
They misstepped.
I think, though, like some of this extra stuff, though, what I'm going to do is the reason I'm going to run an Indiegogo, like even though if the book's done, if people just want to pick up the book, they can pick up the book. But I'm also going to offer issue 1 and Legends of the Lone Wolf with some of that extra stuff. So if somebody didn't get in on any of it and they want to buy the whole package, they'll be able to do that.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, that's pretty much the only reason why I would use the Indiegogo, I think. And plus, now they have this cool thing. You back it, and if you have add-on items, once they hit back and they pick their perk, it comes to a screen and goes, would you like to add on any of these items? And shows a bunch of random stuff. So it's kind of like when you're at McDonald's and they used to ask, would you like fries with that or something? That's kind of how that works. It's like, oh, would you like an issue 1 with your issue 2? And someone might be like, yeah, I would. See, I think there's 4 covers to issue 1 now. There's the original cover, there's the Muttman cover, there's a J. Paul Sheik cover, and now there's a Nate cover.
Coming up is the J. Scott Campbell Black Cat variant.
And we'll get Eric Larson to do a cover where Wolf's naked.
Yeah, and there's just unseemly business going on.
He's fighting a bunch of naked women.
Yeah. Suspiciously childlike Asian women.
Oh, man. Curse you, Eric Larson. He'll rue the day. Well, I doubt he will, but, we can imagine that he will.
Wishful thinking. Never hurt anybody.
Yeah. I still have to send David and Jeff their copies of the Lone Wolf book because I haven't sent them yet. Because I've been planning on ordering some extra stuff for this campaign. And I kind of wanted to throw them a bunch of extra swag in because I ran out of the stuff from the issue 1. So I feel bad, but I don't want to send them the stuff without all the extra stuff. So if you guys are out there, I apologize. I haven't seen it yet, but I want you to have extra stuff. So just think, James, I might wait years and years to send you copies of stuff. Just kind of I want to throw him some extra stuff in there. Like I've got them both. I've got T-shirts. I've got a stack of stuff to send them. But I'm wanting to send them like some stickers and pins and stuff too. And they probably don't even care. They're probably they'll probably just take the bags and just throw them in the closet. And I'm like, I want to send you these things. I actually have Marshall says maybe I can do an alt cover for issue 2 if I can find some time after I finish the anthology. That would be fun. Dude, that would be very awesome. Actually, I would love that because I like your Lone Wolf a lot and I like the way you color it and stuff. And it would be cool maybe to see you do an alternate cover with one of his alternate designs like that we've done here, like the Civil War one, or even the post Mad Dog encounter Lone Wolf. I'd do like to see your take on that. And I want these covers to be exciting. That's something I was talking about with a couple of friends of mine, how covers are just kind of bland. A lot of covers just show like somebody in a pose or somebody, you know.
I agree. I miss those old like Neil Adams covers where it'd be like this crazy stuff going on.
Yeah.
Like Batman's being thrown out of a plane.
Yeah, and you need that to sell the book, you know. You need to have something cool on the cover. I don't know how many times I've walked through a comic shop and just something that I never would even thought about buying just grabs me because it's got an awesome cover on it.
That's the whole point of it.
Yeah. Back when I was a kid, that's how I bought comics. I remember in the summer, my cousin would come down. He lived in Ohio. And so my grandma and grandpa, we would drive halfway up to Richmond, Kentucky and meet my cousin, meet him there, and he'd ride back with us. But when we'd meet there, we'd met at this little McDonald's, and there was a comic book store right next to it. And I would always go in there. And, you know, they had a bunch of old comics. I would just look for anything that I could afford, which was like maybe, you know, $1 or $2. And I never bought, you know, anything based on, you know, what's new or anything. I would just look through Spider-Man and Batman stuff, and whichever cover I thought was the coolest, that's what I bought. I still remember one of them I bought was, I don't think it's even Spider-Man. It might be Marvel Comics Presents. But it's got Spider-Man fighting the Speed Demon on the front. And I thought the Speed Demon looked awesome. And he's like running in a circle. No, it's Spider-Man, I think. He's running in a circle and making a tornado. And Spider-Man is like trying to hold on to a web. And the Amazing Spider-Man logo is like it's blowing away. It's all messed up, like it's blowing in the wind.
It's pretty cool.
And that's why I got it. I was like, oh, this is so cool. Look, the logo's all janky. And Marshall says, I'll have to see those other Lone Wolf designs, and covers used to be better for sure. Definitely, man. We'll hook you up with some stuff, and I would love to have you do an alt cover for this. And also, if you have time to work on a book, we should, this is to Marshall, we should talk about doing the samurai stuff some. I don't even have to write it if you just want to do it. Or I can write some. I have some ideas and some stuff I would like to do. I'd almost like to do a book maybe and have you write and do a story, and then maybe me write a story, and we could do like a split book. But I would definitely like to see that character, you know, come to life more than just a 10-page story in the anthology. And that's one thing too, James, if you want to write like, you know, Lone Wolf stories, we can put them like what I'm going to do with Legends of Lone Wolf from this point on, instead of it being a gigantic book with tons of people, probably just going to have like 4 or 5 stories, you know, maybe a couple of 15-page stories, a couple 10-page stories. So it's like 50, 60 pages. If you want to write something and draw it for that, you're more than welcome. Or if you want to do like a short backup story for something, or maybe like an ash can, you're welcome. This is just more work for you though, because you'd have to, you know, but you just feel welcome to write stuff, because I liked your story that you did for the anthology. And I know some artists would like to write their own stories too.
Sure. If I think of another one, I'll hit you up.
Well, you could do one where he fights Bill Cosby.
Yeah. By popular demand.
Yeah. Sam says, I need to get going. Take care, everyone. See you later, buddy.
Have a good one.
Looking forward to the books. Me too. Hopefully someday they'll get done and I'll be able to read them and talk about how good they are. What's awesome is in my small town, I talk about it all the time. And out of all my friends and stuff, I've got like 3 people that actually support what I do. Nobody else cares. I have people, just randos on the internet I've never met, support me way more than people I've known my entire life. We've been streaming for 2 hours.
Really?
Yeah. I think I streamed for maybe 5 or 2 minutes before you came on.
This is the best part of the cover right here, the shrubbery.
A shrubbery.
Yes, it's completely brainless work. It's a nice little break.
Like I said, I would never have the patience to do this. I can sit and I can work 2 hours on a 3-minute song, layering guitar track after guitar track, playing the same part but in 4 different octaves. But sitting and drawing, I do not have the patience to do this. Oh, Casty Blonde got the reference there. Holy Grail, the knights who say need. So bring me a shrubbery. Need. Dave says this is a chill stream, live artwork and fun conversation. Yeah, it is pretty chill. Just hanging out, talking about, the government, Bill Cosby, the Clintons, and Michael Jackson, I think, brought up once or twice.
Taxation is theft.
Yeah. Hashtag taxation is theft. That's going to be my new banner. I'm going to have to put that up there. Create banner. I do have one that says Pudding Pops, which I just popped up there. See, create banner. Oh, I got to put a hashtag in front of it. Hashtag taxation is theft. Sir Lancelot is my favorite character. It's been such a long time since I've watched Knights of the Holy Grail. I can't hardly remember. I just remember the random, really popular parts everybody talks about, like the Black Knight and the Bunny Red and stuff like that.
I gotta watch it again. It's been a while for me too.
Yeah, the last time I watched it, I was in a band called The Sense, and we were in a studio recording our second little EP album, and that's been like 15 years ago. 15 years ago, I was 21. So, yeah, it's been 15 years ago.
15 years ago, I was 5.
Shut up. You millennial trash. And I'm getting old. See, you're old when 15 years ago, I was already out of high school. That's sad. Oh, 20 years ago, I was 15. That's really sad. What's real sad is there's people older than me fighting over comic book drama on Twitter.
Mm.
A good 10, 15 years older than me.
Yeah, I got off of Twitter except for the occasional like retweeting our stuff.
Yeah. I just went on a rampage and muted and blocked everybody using certain hashtags and stuff like that. And my Twitter has become a nice, positive indie comics utopia.
I've just kind of gone on the mentality of like, if there was no such thing as Twitter, we wouldn't even know half of this shit was going on.
Exactly. And most of it wouldn't even be drama because nobody would care.
Yeah. Like, I don't care what goes on between two creators. Like,
yeah.
Being rude and stuff to the customers is one thing. Being rude to each other, I don't care about.
Yeah, same here. And my thing is, if one creator is going to post about it on Twitter to make the other one look bad, to me, it just makes them both look bad. And at that point, I just ignore them anyway. So all they've done is instead of pitting me against whoever they're mad at, they've just made me ignore them. And it's like a bunch of the writers and stuff like that. I don't really care what people's political ideas are as long as it doesn't affect their work. Like if they're still making good work with good art and good stories, I don't care. Once it infects their work, like if Lone Wolf's next story was how he fights against the man because taxation is theft, that would be lame. I can believe that myself, but I have for a good story, there's no reason for me to put that in the story. And that's the way I feel about most stuff. If you want to put stuff like that in your books, you're just going to, I don't know, drive people away unnecessarily. No, maybe though after we get done with Mad Dog, he can take on the Clintons.
Yeah. That way, 40 years from now, no one will understand what the fuck the story is.
Exactly. It'll be so dated. They'll be like, I don't even know what this is about.
I'm sorry, Doug. I feel like your channel is more family friendly to keep dropping F-bombs.
Oh well, that's you're just a godless heathen. That's just gonna put a warning on my streams. Beware, godless heathen that sometimes drop in on my show.
Yeah.
I'll just go back and edit them out. Every time you start to say it, I'll put in pudding pops.
He's a real pudding pop.
We got a visitor, so I'm gonna go put the camera on him. What you doing, buddy? Huh?
Mm-hmm.
What you doing, buddy? You're on the internet. People can see you on the internet. You're a good boy, ain't you? Tell him you're a good boy. Tell him you're a good boy. Yes, he's a good boy. Here, shake. No, don't lick my hand. Shake. He's like, I'm not doing tricks on the internet.
I'm not your monkey for your amusement.
He's like, you fool, feed me. I'm only here for food. You're a good boy. Here, look. Oh, shake. You did it. Good boy. Good boy. Say everybody bye. Say bye, everybody. We've got a wild Nasser Rabati there in the chat. What's up, Nasser? We're drawing pictures and talking to dogs. Well, I'm not drawing. I'm just talking to dogs.
I forgot to give this guy a bullet wound. Oh.
You forgot to give him a pudding pop. The kids, the pudding pops, and the beeps, and the boops, and the Nintendo. I think I'm just going to get a picture of Bill Cosby and come on stream as Bill Cosby from now on. Even though I sound nothing like Bill Cosby, people still know it's Bill Cosby. When you say putting pops in the kids. Nosser says he's eating sunflower seeds. That's good. I don't particularly like sunflower seeds because they're not made out of meat or candy.
That's the two main food groups.
That's all I eat. It's candy. Meat soaked in candy. Chocolate covered steak. Now my doggy's wanting to like crawl up here in my lap. He's a little bit too big. You're too big, puppy. Hashtag Candygate. I'll put my banner up. Hashtag taxation is theft.
No controversial views here on Gravestone Press.
That's right.
Just common sense.
Just the truth. Don't be alarmed tomorrow when I commit suicide.
It was all part of the plan.
Exactly. I'm going to go out on a limb and say this is going to be the best cover in indie comics for 2020.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Well, I already claimed it. Nobody's claimed it yet, so I can.
All right. Yeah, I guess if you invent it, you can just give it to whoever you please.
Yeah, so because I don't think this will be out till 2020. So because how many pages do you have to do? 20 is it 24 or 23?
It was 24, I think.
So you got 24 pages to do.
Yeah.
I don't have to do nothing.
Yeah, and it's all going to be this level of quality because that's what we're about.
Exactly. Dude, it's going to be sick. I'm going to hang it up on my wall. We ought to do some prints of the art and sign them. Like have you and me and I don't know how to get the dude that colors it to sign it because he lives in Ukraine. I don't want to send a bunch over there.
Make it
I'll just sign it for him. It'll just look just like my signature.
just in all block letters. And
yeah, but I'm digging it, man. It's so cool.
I'm really glad.
I guess with issue 1, I put out a black and white version, but since Ashcan does black and white, that might be our black and white version this time. Because I told Nate that he can print all the Lone Wolf stuff. Because I mean, it's a good idea because if I give him an ad in my book, then I'm promoting Ashcan. And if he prints Lone Wolf comic for me, then he's promoting my brand. So it works out good for both of us. Because somebody might subscribe to Ashcan and be like, hey, this Lone Wolf book is really cool. And then go search out me and see that I think taxation is theft. And they'll be like, hey, I think taxation is theft. I don't think that's what I was going for originally, but that's where we got. Taxation is theft. Or here's our good banner. Pudding pops.
I can live with that.
Well, I said we got 5 viewers. If those 5 viewers haven't, go check out Legends of the Lone Wolf. It's currently on Indiegogo and Kickstarter. So if you don't like using one, then you use the other. If you don't like using them both, it's because you're a jerk. But not really. We'll probably make these available at some point outside of Indiegogo, but it'll probably just be like a very limited run. Because this book is not to make a bunch of money. It's just to make a really nice book and promotes a bunch of indie creators. So definitely check that out. It's got a whole story in it by Mr. Jameson here. He did the art and wrote the story. And it's got one of my favorite panels of all time in it, where that chick's got a gun pointed at her head. That is the coolest.
That was fun to draw. Like, this is... I was hoping that would be the money shot.
Yeah, I love it. Just a close-up on the gun like that, man, and all the detail you put into the gun. It's crazy. And, dude, I think people are going to get a kick out of you and Joe's story.
I think so, too.
I really, really like it. And I like how Joe was taking like a non-traditional approach to lettering it.
Yeah, we were talking about that because he felt like with how weird everything looked on it, it wouldn't fit. It would look like, you know, there was just something over top of the page as opposed to actually being a part of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I felt like that suited it, being non-traditional like that. And it kind of suits Joe too, if you know Joe.
Oh yeah. Joe is great. We talk on the phone a lot. Well, on the Facebook phone.
I talk to him from time to time. I'm kind of a loner. Like if you get me talking, I'm in the right mood. Like today, I'll talk all day. But sometimes I just don't feel like talking, and I'm just, you know, I'm not trying to be rude or anything. I just don't have nothing to say. And then I work weird hours, so that's kind of weird too. But Joe's one of my favorite people on the entire planet. And there's not a whole lot of people on this planet I care about, especially not the Clintons. Taxation is theft. So that's going to be my new running theme on my channel from now on. I'm just going to pop it up randomly.
Just random segues into it.
And now for something different. Taxation is theft. Okay, I don't watch football at all. I never watch football. And on my phone, it just popped up and told me the score to the Bills and Giants game. Like I would care.
It gives me these shitty clickbait articles about Led Zeppelin all the time. And I fall for it every time because I don't recognize it. It's the same website.
Yeah.
So it's like Jimmy Page shocking revelation about, you know, like what he did to Eric Clapton's girlfriend. I'm like, what? And I click on it. He's like, he produced the music for her movie. I'm like,
I thought he killed her or something.
Yeah, I thought it was something weird.
I thought maybe he had a seance with her or something.
He was a weird dude. You know, he probably did have some seances.
I'd say he did. Kenneth Brown says saying Clinton is like the Candyman thing. Don't say it in front of a mirror. You say that, and I'm actually sitting in front of a mirror right now. I'll show you here on my Bill Cosby. See, I'm sitting in this bedroom instead of being on my computer in front of this old set of drawers there, and there's a mirror. So I've said Clinton enough times that the Clinton should appear behind me. But that's okay. I got my guard dog here. Axel, what are you doing? Huh? He's yawning. He's probably about ready to go outside. I probably shouldn't have said that loud because he'll start getting worked up. Dude, that cover is looking awesome.
Thanks, dude.
I was going to try to make it till the end when you had the whole thing done, but I don't think I'm going to make it.
It's how long have we been going already?
2 hours and 21 minutes.
This one might be a 5-hour one. At least.
Well, this has actually been a really good stream, though. And we had quite a few guests popping in and out.
Mm-hmm.
Quite a few people in the chat. We'll have to do this more often. I'm trying to stream every day so I can build my channel up. In the last week since I streamed every day, I got 7 new subscribers.
That's pretty good.
So if we keep going, then maybe in 10 years I'll have 1,000 subscribers. By the time we're on Lone Wolf 67.
Yeah. I've had my YouTube channel for 5 years already, and I've got like 42 people.
I had mine for quite a while. I used to use it. I flip guitars on the side. Like I'll buy guitars if I find a good deal and flip it. But I started using my channel to do like short demos of guitars before I post them on Reverb. So that's how I got a lot of subscribers. So when I started getting more comic book subscribers, when I switched over to comic book stuff, I lost a bunch of the guitar subscribers. So it's kind of finally just now balancing out. People's like, this fat guy ain't playing no more guitars. He's talking about dadgum comic books. And they laugh.
What a nerd.
Yeah, what a fat nerd. Oh, well, it happens. Well, I guess so. I'm going to go ahead and end the stream and go take the dog for a walk.
All right.
But it was fun, and we got to see quite a bit of you inking this thing.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to be putting up a video on my YouTube channel of the inking of this piece that I showed before. I'm going to do a time lapse of it. It's probably going to be a little bit long because it took 4 hours, and I sped it up as fast as I can to where you can still see what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be like a half-hour video.
I go. Well, if I'll try to put a link in the description here in a little bit when the thing pops up. So that way people can go check out your channel.
It's not mostly comic book stuff. It's actually just a lot of really stupid stuff.
That's most channels, I think, though. Most channels just a bunch of stupid stuff. If people's watching my channel, they already know there's a bunch of stupid stuff on mine. But
I've been kind of gearing it towards more comic book related stuff, but I still keep a lot of the stupidity there. Like if you see something that says it's a review or an unboxing, it's actually not a serious video at all.
Yeah, I think I saw a video you did where it was a reboxing.
Yeah, because I accidentally unboxed it off camera, so I had to put it back together again. And that was the bit.
That's the way to do it right there. Well, I guess we're going to take this moment to end the broadcast.
Alrighty.
I want to thank everybody that dropped by. And I hope y'all have a good Sunday. And I will talk etchings later.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in. It was fun.